Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hamster's Hobby Hang. I'm on the green screen again. Actually, no, I moved again into a wood cabin in the forest.
Yeah, he moved to the woods. My cat has chosen now to start circling the chair and hitting things and meowing at me.
Right this second, the very second we
Yeah,
began.
I literally gave her wet food right before this so she'd be satisfied and leave me alone and go to sleep.
But then she was like, "Wait a minute, he's giving attention to someone else."
Basically, I don't know if it's that she usually doesn't want to get into a call, so maybe she hears somebody else and gets excited. I don't know.
Okay. My voice in the headphones, or is it a speaker?
I got you on speaker.
Okay.
I could do headphones, but it's kind of hot and they produce extra heat.
Right.
Hi, everybody.
Finley, how are you? Drosy? Hippo, thank you for the sub. 36 months. Holy smokes.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while.
My gosh, yeah.
More than 36. We've been streaming for over 3 years now.
Really? I guess February?
Yeah. February 2020.
Jeez Louise. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a very significant part of for life at this point.
Yeah. And I suppose our time at Dwarven Forge.
Yeah. It's been a very big thing for us.
You at 36 too. Well, thank you as well for the sub. That's awesome. Let's see. Let me know if you can see Chris clearly enough. I did put you nice and neatly into the overlay because it is so well done. Except I re-added my camera and that is not right.
Yeah, I noticed. I actually moved my
there we go.
I moved my I moved my webcam a bit to fit in the shot better.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I'm just doing a little quick assembly outside of my usual thing. I've done a little bit more work on the boat. Last time I did like the wood base coat. I've gone through and applied the metallics in the places where there'd be metallics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
that looks good.
And so I'm basically at the point where like I want to do details now. I want to do a dark wash on all the wood now, just to give it like some more contrast and get some darker colors into the cracks. And then I want to do some weathering, some algae down near the bottom of the boat on the outside, and just get the whole weathering from being in the water all the time. So I think it's mostly... I don't think it'll take me the whole stream to do that, though. And then after that, I guess I just got to figure out how to actually do the rigging.
Right.
figure out how to do sails, and I think I'm pretty close to done on this. But in the meantime, I've been going through. We've been cleaning house at the office a little bit, so I was looking through and I found some minis that I still had at the office from when I was painting there, and I moved them over here. And I discovered I had one more Ragecraft model that I never painted, which I loved Ragecraft. They were... God, where were they based? I think they're somewhere in the EU. And loved their sculpts a lot. Painted up a lot of them. A lot of them were my favorite pieces I've done. And I discovered that there was one that I never actually assembled and painted, so I just glued them together real quick. Just a guy like leaping off of a rock. Looks very powerful. Very good villain. Very good villain mini. So he's assembled now. And someday I will prime and paint him up.
I remember you painting the orcs, but I forget, was it on Hobby Hang? Or is it just for fun?
Some of it was. The first orc was that Thanksgiving 2020 Hobby Hang we did, where I was at Miles' place.
Right.
That's where I did the first orc. And then I think the rest I might have painted outside of it.
Well, I have some orcs in my queue as well, because I've been sticking together a bunch of Age of Sigmar orcs that I'm excited about.
Yeah. Right, because we're getting stuff ready for, I guess we can talk a little bit about some of that. we've been doing a lot of kind of structural changes, and one of them is doing regular game days at the office now.
Yeah.
Like once a month, just having like a day where instead of working on stuff, we just play a bunch of games.
Right.
And so one of them is you and Nate really want to play Warhammer, so you've been getting a lot of Warhammer stuff ready.
Yeah, Nate finally just on his own time started hobbying some Warhammer, and he's been sending me updates. He's like, "This is actually really fun." I'm like, "I know. I've been trying to tell people."
Yeah, but it's, especially as we move into sci-fi and we just kind of start transitioning the company into what we envision it being long term. Having experience with as many games as possible is just going to be better for us when it comes to development. Like having firsthand experience with the terrain requirements for a bunch of different stuff is good. Seeing what other people in the industry are doing is good.
Yeah.
And then also it'll probably just help us be less stressed and have more fun. So
Right.
there's also that.
Yeah, lots of stuff people have ideas for. TTRPGs, of course, big and small war games and RPGs. It'll be cool. See how that gets fleshed out.
Mm-hmm. So got a lot of games on the list, and the first one is in a couple weeks, and I'm not really painting anything in preparation for that. If we decide to do Free Blades, I've already got that one army painted up, but I might paint my second one that I've got because I've assembled most of it. I do need to paint them. I think I've just been putting it off because they're metal.
Stop that.
What's going on? Dog.
Dolly was just barking at nothing. Yeah, I have my Free Blades here from last time too. I wasn't super happy with some of the stuff I did on them. I think I was just kind of flustered doing it brand new in my new place, I guess. I was just a little off. And when I was looking at these before, I was like, I think I could do better. Mostly too, it's a color I have trouble with. It's kind of like a burgundy red, like a dark maroon kind of thing. So I just decided to go back to some more classic layering. Grabbed a couple pre-mixed paints to maybe help out with that.
Yeah. I'm really liking the color on that cloak.
Yeah, it's just this one is probably the closest to what I was going for. I just want to flesh it out a little better. I don't know, it's a little muted. I mean, part of that is I was trying to do like, okay, a quick black and white kind of dry brush sketch with contrast paints over it, but I rarely end up being super happy with that. There's people that do it really well, but I just get too finicky. So I think I'm just going back to basics here.
Hey, Charles. How you doing? Oh, come on. Yeah. For game day stuff, I want Warhammer to go in. I want Free Blades to be going.
On this next one?
Yeah. I don't know if we can do literally every scrim. Maybe we can set up a bunch of... Because the thing is, like, an RPG is going to take a lot more time to play through than a skirmish game.
Yeah. The teaching is going to be the longest part of the war games, probably.
Yeah, so I think that's really the question with it, because currently only a couple people in the office have actually, like, played a war game before.
Yeah.
And so, like, there'll definitely be, like, a bit of a learning curve / just like kind of teaching moment.
Yeah.
For every new person that wants to try it. And so then for each war game, it's going to be different, teaching different rules.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know how many we can get going at once.
Yeah. What I kind of anticipate, I think, is like that for the next number of game days, I'll be like teaching war games, and then eventually, you know, one or two people might get familiar enough with something to like teach someone else, and then I can go play an RPG or something.
Yeah. All in all, not a terrible place to be. It's
going
to be interesting to see what the approach is like, how long it takes to get those things going. Because I know we wanted to have Relic Blade set up as well, because that works really well with our terrain, and
it's just like fast. Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah.
So hopefully like multiple people could give it a shot or something.
Oh no, are my washes at the office?
Uh
I think they are.
oh.
Oh no.
Could try to mix your own.
I have these MiG. I have this MiG Russian Shadow. Or this might actually. Is this a wash? It might be a wash. Let me see.
Is it acrylic or is that enamel?
I don't know. I've literally never used these. I got them from an asset drop box a while ago.
Oh, I forgot that you did that. That's right.
Yeah, before that got shut down too. No smell, no toxic. It's acrylic.
Okay, nice.
Water-based acrylic. Lit dry completely for 1 day. What? Hamster, have you gotten the return of the double down?
I have not. You know, I've been trying. I've hit my I've entered my 31st year, or rather my 32nd, I guess. I feel like I got to keep track of the diet a little better.
No.
Now, granted, I was a little behind getting ready for the stream, and there's a McDonald's right across the street from me, so if we put two and two together, I have failed. But I have not ventured out for the double down.
Okay. I think I've added a little more water to this to thin it out a bit. I'm gonna try it out lower on the boat and see if this does what I'm hoping it'll do.
So this is just a regular acrylic I put on here, but you can still see some of the sketch underneath, and I already like that better. That's kind of more what I imagined. This is a fairly dark color too. I'm kind of surprised. This is black red Vallejo. No diet can take priority over the double down. The OG keto fast food offering. Yeah, hey, there you go. Do you agree, Katie? He's questioning.
How does Katie feel about Hot Pockets?
Katie, how do you feel about Hot Pockets? She says she freaking loves Hot Pockets, so I guess I found the right one.
Oh no.
I've been very good about not eating them, but we'll see. I have a bad influence now. No, honestly, she's the only reason I've been eating healthier anyway. So, but now that we've opened the box of Hot Pockets, Pandora's box of Hot Pockets, who's to say?
Life is like a box of Hot Pockets.
But and I think last time too, I was out of it, and I didn't really consider this, but it's like, I hadn't painted miniatures in weeks, and I just feel, I think like my muscle memory is a little out of it too. So I'm happy to be back at the stream and stuff, just to be painting regularly, because we were off. Yeah. We
were off for a while.
Yeah.
Lowtown was just a very big lift.
Yeah.
Pandora's Hot Pocket will hurt you when you first open it, then let you down by being frozen cold in the middle.
Right. That's the thing. You have to be familiar with your preferred variety of Hot Pocket, familiar with your microwave. You gotta, have a moisture collector, usually in the form of a paper towel under there. All these factors really affect things. The time may vary, but you don't go off the box. You gotta go off your experience. They aren't in his fridge, only in his heart. Exactly. I'm sure my heart is still feeling all of the Hot Pockets I've consumed. My creative activities have been paralyzed lately. Yeah. I feel you. And that's happened to me a lot in my life. I'll have long stretches of not painting. Like even just, you know, in high school when I had more free time and I was mostly painting. I guess in those days, I would have periods, like shifting periods of different hobbies, right? Like I would just go super hard in Magic the Gathering and just do all the tournaments and constantly I'd play on Magic Online. I would just be watching like videos of tournaments, like, and Magic was like my thing. I didn't do any painting. And then sometimes I would just completely forget about Magic, only painting, only assembling models. And then it would switch to like, eventually I got an Xbox, so I'd have a stretch of that and not do the others, and I would kind of just switch and have one main thing to be obsessed with. Just getting in and talking about moisture? Ain't no moisture in a Hot Pocket, but there's plenty in Arby's roast beef, trademark. Oh, that's some wet beef. I'm sorry. Hot Pocket's nature's revenge. I feel that.
Nothing natural about a Hot Pocket.
It's all, you gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit. Schrodinger's Hot Pocket, you can't tell if it's hot or cold in the middle, and it exists in both states until you bite it. That's actually true, because sometimes you have a single bite that is both hot and cold on like one side, on each side. And so you're getting the sensation of both, and it's very strange. A Hot Pocket is basically late-stage capitalism. Okay, this sounds like a TikTok or something.
Actually, yeah, that is extremely TikTok-y. Okay, yeah, let's get into here.
I'm still deciding if I want to do non-metallic or true metallic. I think I gotta work on them a little more and see how long it takes me. I'm actually painting in the first 20 minutes of the stream, so that's a good sign.
Nice.
But I kind of want to finish these tonight, so we'll see. Because I actually have two more. I have like the super rad but super cumbersome ones that I didn't pack up and take. There's like the anchor thrower and the pike wielder. You had to have seen those hanging out.
Yes. This is Free Blades, yeah?
Yep, yep.
Yeah! I need to reach out to the Free Blades guys.
I heard Miniac talking about it on their podcast because they do a live one at Adepticon, and so he had demoed Free Blade. So it was kind of cool to hear it come up.
Oh, sick, yeah.
Anyone in the chat listen to Trapped Under Plastic? I don't follow it like super duper regularly, but at work I do fairly often put it on. I'm pretty sure I'd start one that's me eating and reviewing stupid food. Wait, that sounds like a great TikTok channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of very good food review TikTokers.
Hey Cal, anybody see the new Dungeons and Dragons movie? I have not yet. My group is trying to find a time to go together. I have a feeling that it's going to be like on the D&D night instead of doing a session. We'll go see it, but it has not worked out yet. It's pretty fun, Hippo. Okay, Merc liked it. I've heard surprisingly good things. I was like not super optimistic from the marketing and stuff, but
It doesn't seem like my kind of thing, but I've only heard people say good stuff about it. So I
yeah,
think if it's what you're looking for, they do it well.
right.
Oh, I guess another thing that we can say, because I want to, I want to be able to talk about it. Starting this week, we're trying out 4-day work weeks.
Yeah, so
I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
well, here's the thing. On our Kickstarter break, I was immediately moving every day. So I think am going to do absolutely nothing for this first Friday. But then, yeah, I have considered a number of things. It's funny because I was like, I might just go into the office and hobby anyway and like paint stuff that I want to paint.
What I'm thinking is I'm just like, do I want to just go like play games or something? Like,
Yeah.
Like
It's like
I don't know. Like
I've been working on like some of the Warhammer during my work week, and part of me is just like, I want to keep progressing on that just in my own time.
yeah, I'm thinking like there's a number of minis that I'd really like to get painted up. I would love to like start painting regularly again because I used to just paint regularly.
Yeah.
During a lot of the pandemic, largely when I was like working from home a bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, Janet's gonna do laundry. That makes sense.
Nice.
I want to get more. I need to get more bird feed tomorrow morning. I need to remember to do that. I ran out yesterday.
I love following the birds on your stories, your Instagram stories.
They are fun little guys. I'm glad I finally got the blue jay screaming his head off on camera. You've been working a 4-10 schedule like last year, and it's great. Well, that's the thing that I was like really curious about is like just the way that our stuff works. We've never really been super regimented with like, yeah, work from this time to this time, just because the nature of what we do is very like, is fairly amorphous. It's very much like a as long as stuff gets done, like thing. So it's not exactly like 4-10, but it's kind of just like expecting. It's kind of just being like feeling safe to like turn off Slack notifications for Friday through Sunday instead of just Saturday and Sunday. It's having like more official permission to just kind of do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Do I have birds and a cat? I only actually have a cat, but I put a since I'm on like the top floor, I was like, you know what? It's not really in the way for me to hang a bird feeder off of the fire escape, like over on the side where like nobody has to like go down or anything. So I have a bird feeder outside my window, and so I feed pigeons and doves there. It's supposed to just be. I specifically get cardinal seed, and there is a female cardinal that comes by every now and then, which I like a whole lot. Yeah, but I mostly just get mourning doves because mourning doves are all over New York. And then I also have some pigeons that come and hang out with the doves, who are too big for that feeder, but they don't care and they sit on it anyways. And so it'll be very funny because they tilt the whole feeder while they're on it. And so they'll just be constantly like flapping to like try and stay upright while they're trying to peck seeds out of the feeder. And then there's a blue jay that comes by every now and then, and I always know when the blue jay's here because the rest of the birds that come by are pretty quiet, and then the blue jay just screams.
Gotta make itself known.
Yeah. They're all over New York because New York is the most emo-est city in America. Well, wasn't it literally because they got they like didn't they like get brought here for food, or is that the pigeons or the doves that were brought here to be like that were like domesticated and raised here for like food and stuff, and then they just kind of became wild?
I don't know. I think it's the email thing.
You think pigeons? Yeah. Yeah, no, I think mourning doves are just actually native because there's mourning doves all over the country. but I think specifically like our pigeons are mostly here. I think I'm trying to remember. I've been learning a lot about birds the last couple of years since I became a bird guy. Oh, I guess actually just like over the last year. It's getting close to a year of me having that. It's been close to a year of me having that bird feeder up.
I think you've always been a bird guy on the inside.
I've always liked bird videos for like years. Part of it was just, like having. If I wasn't in this apartment, I wouldn't be doing this because I would, I didn't have a way to do bird feeding before.
Yeah.
But I've always liked them. I just like it. I like all animals, really.
There are bird watchers and there are people who don't know they are bird watchers. You must be, it must be awakened within you.
I feel like it's extremely hard not to like birds, at least somewhat, because they're generally just very joyful creatures.
They're full of character.
They're so funny to watch.
Like, actually, we were walking from the bus because actually fairly often Chris and I will be on the same bus and not know it until we get off. But yeah, we saw this tiny bird trying to carry an enormous branch away for a nest, and we're like, what are you thinking there, bud?
Yeah, it's like you can't. The thing was like 3 times the length of his body. It's like you're not gonna be able to do this, dude. Carrier pigeons brought over for communication between new colonies. Yeah, they were not meant to be food, but no one got the memo. Morning doves are attracted to the sadness of New York City. I don't know, man. New York City's not that sad. They'd be everywhere. Pigeon babies are kind of horrifying. All baby birds are a little freaky.
Little tiny monsters.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not the grackles. Hey, Steve, how you doing? I don't know. I like birds a whole lot. Probably gonna go to. It's like our first really nice weekend in a while.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to. I think one of these days. It's looking like Saturday. We're gonna go to the botanical gardens.
Ooh.
Some friends, and that's a pretty good place to birdwatch too.
Yeah, it was 75 degrees when I left to come back here.
Yep.
Jeez
And
Louise.
it felt like I think it was like 30 something yesterday. So it's Oh, she's screaming.
I was canoeing down a river and saw a bald eagle scoop fish out of the water. My bird watchery was activated that day. That reminds me of when I was canoeing and camping in the Boundary Waters, and we were fishing, and this like young, not like a tiny baby loon, but kind of like an adolescent loon that still had like some of the puffy feathers. It was chasing the lure and would go right up to the canoe. And of course it never got, I don't even think it was trying to catch it, which thankfully it didn't because it had hooks on it, but it would just like chase it straight up to the canoe and then wait for it to get cast out again.
I think it was just playing.
Yeah.
They're very fun. Like following like parrot accounts, following
Yeah.
cockatiel owners in particular, like all the little parrotlets, honestly, and just seeing like the games that they come up with is very funny. Kaikeis are hilarious. I also really like budgies.
What the heck is a budgie?
If you look it up, you've definitely seen them before. They're parrotlets that have kind of flat faces. Their beaks kind of like curl into their chin.
Oh.
And their voices are very funny. They're very they got like very low kind of rumbly voices.
The pugs of the bird world.
Yeah. They're
That's
very funny.
good.
They'll be way more like I'm a pretty bird.
Yeah.
they're like way more like that instead of like high pitched, and it's they're very funny. I love budgies.
Huh.
How am I gonna trace this wood? Let's see.
Eli's chickens have entered the chat. Yeah, they're talking up their bird
Oh, Eli's
brethren.
chickens are wild. Well, no, actually, they're domesticated.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That was my favorite part of visiting Eli when we were doing the reliquary stocks.
Oh, right.
Just being able to like identify like the personalities of all these birds. He's like, yeah, that one's a troublemaker. he's like these two are the ones that will like get needy and like attack the back of your legs if they want to be held and stuff like that.
That's freaking cute.
Yes. Yeah, birds got overlooked for a long time, but they're really starting to get their due.
It's about time, huh?
Mm-hmm. They got a ton of character. The fun thing about like parrotlets, I think what they say is they have like the brain capacity of like 4-year-old like humans for like play and songs and stuff, which is why they'll learn like all those songs and everything.
Huh.
They have like that capacity to like memorize those things, and it's very nice. Owls start as fluff balls and they get their face feathers. My favorite thing about owls is that they're actually very dumb. Like, they have this like stereotype of being hyper intelligent birds.
Yeah.
Just from like the way we portray them in media, but like they are so dumb. I adore it. Let's see. Makes me want to get stoned and watch Planet Earth. Planet Earth is genuinely a very good time.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. Great narrator.
Kind of cardinals, blue jays, and hawks in Pennsylvania. Yeah, cardinals are all like there's a breed of cardinal that's like super common all throughout North America, and that's the one that I've seen outside. The thing that's very fun about cardinals and blue jays to me is it's much harder to recognize the females than the males because the females have like plainer like brown plumage. So like it took me a little bit to realize that I had like a cardinal at the feeder when she started showing up, because she didn't have like the bright red or anything.
Right.
Our eagle owl once ran while wearing its Jessies towards a plate of food, got to the end of the cord, its feet stopped, and it face planted into a plate of bolognese. God, they're so funny. There's this video of an owl that they found that was injured, and so they had to take it in for like surgery, and then they had to like put gauze over its talons to stop it from like hurting itself. While like the wounds were like recovering and stuff. And there's this video of them like very calmly like putting it. Like, it's still got like the sedatives on a little bit, and so there's this video of them like gently placing it like sitting like in its cage. And as soon as they let go, it just immediately like slowly like topples over and just like face plants.
Oh, I've seen that.
It sits there for like 3 seconds and then realizes it's fallen over and starts scrambling to get up. Owls are amazing. It's a good video. Worked at a BJ's Verizon kiosk for a handful of months, and the TV had Blu-ray Planet Earth demo. I got to it so much. I would tell customers when something cool is happening. That's very good. I need to actually look up the Spotify. I need to look up the song that they actually released for Yum Yum.
Wait, what is that?
Yum Yum is he's one of the biggest like cockatiel accounts.
Oh.
And he has two songs that became very like two songs that he really likes. So either his owner or one of his owner's like closest friends is like a music producer.
Huh.
So there's all these videos of Yum Yum like sitting on like a little perch uh by like his synthesizers and stuff, and like bobbing along with like the music and all that. And there's one song in particular that the guy did that Yum Yum really likes apparently and memorized and like sings all the time. And it's him going like and just like doing that like over and over again. So a bunch of people like started doing remixes
Oh my
of them
gosh.
like there's like a metal band like playing along with it and stuff like that. And then there's also the other song he really likes to do is the cookie song,
Oh.
where he just goes like cookie 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 and just like looping that, and like both of those are like it's very funny because you can tell that then other people's cockatiels started learning those songs from their owners playing those videos. It's I don't know. It's very funny. I love that there's like certain phrases that you can just expect that certain species of birds will just always know because their owners like all go for them. Like ringneck parrots will like any ringneck parrot that you see online will like to give kisses.
Oh.
And will say peekaboo, and we'll say what doing, and I think it's that one of them did it and the owners thought it was and then other owners thought it was cute and then taught their own bird to do it, and then it just became like I don't know, it's very funny to see like birds with completely different owners like know like a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to make the trim on the boat, all the raised areas be a little brighter to contrast with the washing I did.
Did you wash the whole boat already?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did it a bit patchier so it's not completely even all the way across.
Yeah.
I thought that would make it look more interesting and varied. Like I said, it really didn't take long. I didn't have much to do. I didn't have much left to do with the boat, in that regard. The biggest thing really is figuring out the sail stuff.
Hmm.
So I genuinely have no idea how to do that currently. I'm sure they have guides for it. I just gotta look it up.
Sure, there's a number of different ways you could do it theoretically if you just kind of DIY-ing.
Well, so I know they have like two different sail setups you can do based on how you build the boat.
Oh, okay.
And so I built it in one of those ways, and then when it comes to actually putting the sails up, it becomes about like, cool, so where do you put the strings?
Huh.
All that jazz. I've never done anything like this before, so
Yeah, that
very
sounds really
excited.
cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited to try it.
Do you have multiple ships?
Yeah, the pledge I got had 2. I'm just gonna do this one all the way and see how I feel about it, and then maybe do the second.
So then we can play it on a game day or something.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
Blood and plunder.
Blood and plunder?
Yeah.
What's the scale on that ship? Is it roughly the same as the figurines? It's a great question. This is a smaller... Okay, so let's see. Let me just grab, like, a standard... Okay, so this is a... It's definitely a bit smaller scale. I think the minis are around 20 millimeters. I haven't assembled them. They're all on sprues. I haven't done any of the minis for the game yet. But you could get away with this being like a smaller sloop, I would think. It definitely is a little... When you look at like the size of like the grates compared to a mini, that could be a little strange. But if you have this mixed in with something like the Falling Star, which we have painted up at the office, I think it just gives you more options, you know? Looks like it'd read well enough for a session. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I want us to have an option for smaller boats because we have the Falling Star all painted up, and then we have an unpainted Sophie's Revenge, and both of those are very big. And so when I saw Blood and Plunder, I was like, you know what? Having like some smaller boat options would be nice. Like, it may not be super realistic or whatever, but it's more about the playability. And it looks like you can fit about 3 minis wide on the deck, and that is perfectly workable. Hi, Mace.
Nerds! Market! Mace, we miss you. We haven't had a market in ages.
Yeah, come back on the stream so you can poop. Come on. What?
Oh, nothing. That's just really tickled me.
It wasn't for pooping? Okay. Sure. Alright. We have a whole stream lore built around it, so don't try to retcon it now.
Yeah.
It's a crucial part of the it's on the Dwarven Forge Live wiki.
Right.
Somebody set up a Dwarven Forge Live wiki, please. So I can use that argument. The only information on there is that routinely on the hobby hangs. One of our traditions is noting when Mace poops.
There's only one like half paragraph on there about it.
Yeah, that's all the information that we need. She is regular. Like, honestly, it's inspiring. Thank you, Charles. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, Charles. This cutting mat on my desk now is brand new, and now my other one was just an absolute mess, as they often become. And now I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, and like I just got a drop of water on it. I'm like, oh no, I'm like paranoid about it. Hamster, yes, Mace? What is that hat?
That's his name. Don't wear it out.
Party hat. One 128 millimeter mini or two minis, half the size. All right, this is just a bit with Mace and I where it started when we were painting together some batches and we just would repeat that, just insert anything like, would you rather have one of X or two half the size? And actually, you know what it became to was like, would you rather have one giant, in this case 28 millimeter mini, or two minis half the size? And then it was like, wait, so are they half the size of the giants, or they're just regular size? Oh, that, I'm real giggly tonight. You guys are getting me good.
Are you on the sauce?
I'm on the sauce. I'm on the Fountain Diet Coke sauce.
Hey, sugar does stuff to people. Oh boy. Okay.
Why does Sprite taste better from the fountain? I don't know. One time I tried to answer this question about especially McDonald's fountain soda, about how the containers they get it in, but then someone said, yeah, I worked there and that's not true, so I can't even speak on this.
Usually they don't even actually give you like the actual stuff, you know. It's not the same as the bottled
Right.
stuff. Just syrup.
Oh my gosh, there was a Subway near me that never cleaned the soda fountain and all the sodas tasted like the flavors mixed together. Ugh. Was it like health rated C or something? Although I'm going to be honest, I've been to a Chipotle out here that had a B rating and I was like, you know what? You can't live in fear.
Do I have sludge? I don't think I have sludge. I should have grabbed sludge from the office. Wait, is that sludge? Nope.
Yeah, as a kid, we used to purposely mix them all together. You had to. I mean, come on. I went to a sushi place with a B rating? Okay, I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave. The best taco places are C's? Okay, we're getting out of control over here.
Yeah, but Hoppy, it's different though. It definitely comes out different than the bottled stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like just the nature of doing it live or what.
Doing it live.
Yeah. The only good tacos come off the truck. Yeah, the more like hole in a wall the place is, or the more food trucky a place is, odds are the better the food's gonna be. I went to a hole in the wall Korean restaurant over the weekend before I went to the Nicoletsko concert, and like, it's so good. It was amazing. You have a taco rec in Brooklyn? Maybe I went to a taco place 2 nights ago, and it was phenomenal. Also, the worse the graphics are on the food truck, absolutely. When they clearly haven't focused on anything that isn't the food is probably amazing.
Yeah.
Proper Korean place where they just bring you tons of little side dishes? Yep. Yeah. We placed our order, and then before any of the food came out, they're just like, all right, cool, so here's the ginger, here's the... And they just, like, laid out, like 5, like, side dishes that are just like, no, like, you just get this. Like... One of those situations where, like, we were the only, like, non-Korean people there, and it was delicious. It's because of concentration levels. If it's not calibrated right, it can be too strong. I want to know who, like, the soda fountain technician is, whose job it is to go around and make sure that the calibration is right. In the back of Union Pool in a taco truck, best shrimp quesadillas I ever had. Ooh. Oh, shoot, I need to look up the Bell House. Is it the Bell House that's doing it? The guys that made Mission Hill are doing, like, a Mission Hill retrospective show thing in Brooklyn, I think this weekend. I want to try to see it. Where's it? Is it at Union Hall, or is it... Where is it? It is Bell House. Okay, sick. Oh, and it's not until next week. Beautiful. Oh no, is it on Wednesday? Oh no, it's an On the Anvil. Wait. Nate's gone that week. There's no On the Anvil.
Oh, that's right.
Oh boy. Am I gonna go... Am I gonna be one of 10 people to go to a Mission Hill retrospective?
Yeah, it might be. I have not heard of that.
Mission Hill? Phenomenal animated show that got very little love. Oh, Mission Hill. Okay, so it has parts that are like really good. I think a lot of it was them not having a reliable funding and schedule. Okay, yeah, Andy's like not the best. It had very good parts, and I wish that it got to do more. Also, I think it was better at the time than it is now, for sure. But it has ska. Okay, so the Frenches are the worst part of the show. I will just straight up say that. The Frenches are absolutely the worst part of the show. So does the mask? Yeah, the mask didn't, The mask has not aged perfectly.
You take that back.
Hey man. Hey man, as a huge Mask fan, that was definitely written by a dude.
Yeah, yeah.
In the 90s.
You're right. You're right.
Like I'm worried that the Mask did way too much to entrench us in nice guy culture. He's the nicest guy. Yeah, I mean, there are so many, there's so many women out there just looking for a nice guy like him.
Yeah.
You know? Me included. Like, that was one of the cringiest... Man, there's a lot of... with the mask, there's I remember a lot of the like Party, but I forget a lot of the nice guys finish last stuff going on.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't tend to think about those parts.
Yeah, you get to the part where it's just very like, it's a shame that women just always go for jerks. Like it's a you forget about that part of the movie. It's a not insignificant part. Am I just done with this for tonight? I just did a little bit of detail. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do something fun with the yeah. I'm gonna do something fun there. Mission Hill reminded me of downtown. He's a really modest guy, even though he's the hottest guy in Havana. Oh, in Havana. Señorita, I know. It's an old MTV cartoon. Not gonna lie, I think most of my affection for Mission Hill is the fact that it has Italian leather sofa as the opening. That show is remarkably responsible for me being into ska. And I think I give it a lot of credit for that. All right, Hammy, your turn to burst into song.
Oh God, no.
So says Janet.
No, sorry.
You can actually sing though.
You know, sometimes I wonder.
You can.
I would, but
You and Tyler are like the two like actual vocalists.
well, as someone who has learned about vocalization, Tyler definitely has nailed the ease of it more than I have. I kind of sing like
You have the passion.
I kind of sing like each note is life or death.
And it's incredible. It really puts us in the it really puts us in the character's mindset.
Right.
He's a really modest guy.
Oh, thank you. He's resting his voice, yeah, actually. Honestly, I wonder what the heck Dolly would do if I started singing. She might freak out.
Freak out!
I guess I did sing the other day, and I don't think she did anything.
Then we can try. Can we see Dolly?
Oh, Dolly is with Mama. She's starting class. So she's not in camera view, or easy camera view. One of these days, if she gets...
The dog's going to school?
Yeah, yeah, it's getting a master's degree.
It's gonna be a master?
Yeah.
And not a pet?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She's gonna learn how to pick up her own poop.
That would genuinely be a life changer. The worst part of any pet is that they poop. Gonna go out on a limb and put that out there. Dog college to get a master's in being a good girl.
Oh.
He's a really modest guy. Chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom. Focus on this, please. It will not. Okay, well.
Market. Oh my gosh, we got multiple markets. I know only this one is
Not
real.
having a great night.
Too regular.
I'm the game.
Too regular. Wait, what are you playing? Are you playing Elden Rings more?
Too regular, too furious.
Oh god. Oh, the market was for Dolly. Oh yes. No, she's not going out yet. She's not going out yet. After this stream, she'll go out.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, that's right. Dead Rising. You mentioned that. All right. Sick. Maybe a little LD later. All right. Well, best of luck.
How about Elden Rising?
Hmm.
You think about that? How about Dead Ring?
Dead Ring.
Dead Ring.
That is kind of what Elden Ring is about. The Elden Ring has shattered. Oh, I'm waiting for the Elden Ring DLC also. I can't wait. Miles has started playing, and so we downloaded the Seamless Co-op mod, and Miles, Ray, and I have hopped in a couple times. It's been fun.
I need to start streaming again so I can get through Dark Souls 2 and eventually make my way to Elden Ring.
Yes. Next on my docket is Dark Souls 2 also, and I'm afraid because people online say it's the worst one almost unanimously, but
I'm not liking it.
oh yeah.
Gotta be real. It's just man, I liked 1 a whole lot.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll stream tomorrow because that's
Oh yeah. That's a good
I'll
idea.
get back into streaming now that the Kickstarter's over. Maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. Thanks for bringing that up, Janet.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's really strange having the free day. It's like almost I have to really sit down to think about what can I do with this time.
Yeah. Good problem to have. Yeah, so what was I thinking? A lot of it just feels
Can you bring her here?
cheap. I'm not even like really struggling with it. Like I've been still clearing most of the bosses on the first try and stuff.
Oh
But like so much of the enemy placement and everything, I'm just having a much less enjoyable time with it. It feels like it's doing a lot less interesting things and a lot more just like, what if we put you in a locked room with 5 dudes at once?
Yeah.
Because it feels like the game's combat is... Dark Souls combat makes a lot of sense to me as like a for dueling and stuff.
Right.
And then that's what makes it like really intense and exciting when there is multiple people to fight at once.
Yeah.
But like when that's literally every encounter, at a certain point it's just kind of exhausting and it's like, cool, I don't have the tools to juggle 5 people making attacks at different times.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really fine balance where, like, sometimes there is a dungeon corner that wants to give you the middle finger and say, yep, there was a thing that you couldn't possibly anticipate, and now you know, and you have to look out for it, and you feel accomplished by doing so.
Yeah.
But when it's, like, too much, it's like, yeah, no, that's just not fair.
That's the issue, is they do it constantly.
Right.
Like, they, it's literally, like, some of the best moments in Dark Souls 1 were when it just did like a very cheeky like, oh, a boulder just came out of nowhere, and like now you know it's coming or whatever, and so then you can dodge it in the future. But like when literally every corner you go around suddenly there's like 2 skeletons in a blind spot that you can't move the camera around to see.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
No, I feel ya. That's kind of been, well, there's a number of factors why I haven't been playing much stuff. The move and everything. Miles got me back into Elden Ring, but I've been sitting like again. I right at the end of the Kickstarter beat Dark Souls 1, absolutely freaking loved it, and then I was like, okay, on to the next. Oh, I'm suddenly have lost motivation because it's number 2.
Yeah. Um.
But I also plugged in my PlayStation 4 for the first time in years this week, and the controller doesn't work, I learned, so I'm waiting on a new one, but it's basically going to be a Bloodborne machine, I think.
Yeah. Right now, my big motivation to hurry up and just actually stick it out through 2 is then I get to play Bloodborne and 3 and Sekiro.
Yes.
And I hear that, like, what I've heard from the people that I trust is, like, literally everything after 2 is a great time.
Right.
But I want to experience 2 completely.
Yeah, me too. I gotta play it once.
Yeah.
Dolly, the people wanted to see you. You got sleepy eyes. It's the puppo, yes. She said, the camera loves me, they need to see me. And now she's playing it cool. She's like, nah, just take a little snooze.
I mean, they literally asked for it.
Yeah. So I saw her rubbing her face on the rug. I said, hey, get over here and have
Buca
your
di Puppo.
scene.
Buca di Puppo.
Buca di Puppo?
Yeah.
It's a family restaurant for dogs that they have to share size orders.
A restaurant for dogs.
All sleep, no more painting. Yeah, this is Dolly's nap stream now.
Well, yeah, I'm almost entirely just done with what I was planning to do with the boat today. And there's still considerable time left in the stream, so I gotta figure this out.
I've been there before. I'm like, huh, this is actually a really fast, fun paint. Oh god, there's an hour left. And I didn't bring anything.
Yeah.
I got plenty to do here, though. I've been trying to finish more miniatures, or at least, like, make progress on more than one thing. Because I just have so goddamn many. I've been organizing them in my shelves at work, and I'm just like, gosh, I just have to do something with these.
Well, now that we have these game days,
Yes.
it's easier to justify it.
Okay. Go back to my...
Gotta wait for that metallic to finish drying so I can clean it up, and then... Oh, you know what? I can clean up these windows.
I gotta try Sekiro again, because for the most part I was enjoying it, and the combat is great, but it's exactly not my playstyle.
Yeah, the thing with Sekiro and Bloodborne, from what I've heard, is that there's less flexibility to the playstyles, and you really have to play the game the way they want you to play it in those ones.
Yeah, like, Sekiro is all parrying, and it is satisfying, and you feel like a sword fighter when you pull it off, but I did very little parrying in Dark Souls, and I just kind of, like, built myself to be able to tank and trade hits and just bonk with heavy armor. But...
yeah, it's gonna be a rough time.
You're painting with masculines this weekend. That's rad as heck.
What's masculine?
It's like, it's just a miniature painter, really good one. That's like online and stuff. You're going to a class or like one of the, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff where it's like you go to a lodge with a painter and stay a weekend and just paint. I don't know if it's something like that. West Coast tour thing. That's rad. You have to post your results on Discord or your Instagram. I love to see them.
Okay, let's get this filled in. Okay. That. Need the collector's edition Tears of Kingdom to go with my collector's edition Metroid Dread on my shelf of pretty things to look at. I need to decide if I want to do any collector stuff for Tears of the Kingdom. The issue is I really can't justify buying another Switch. But man, that Switch looks very good. And I don't have an OLED model. But I'm perfectly fine with the one that I have. But it's very nice. Maybe I'll try to get the case. I don't know. I wish that Breath of the Wild had a... Because I got the collector's edition for Breath of the Wild, and it came with a carrying case, but it didn't have, like, a special Switch. So I wish it had. I got the special Wind Waker HD Wii U. I literally bought it, and then the next week, like after I bought it, at Comic-Con, I won one.
What?
Yeah, there was a Pikmin tournament, a Pikmin 3 tournament, and I won that. And so I was like, I called my mom, and I was like, because I was talking to her like afterwards, and I just told her, I was like, yeah, I just won this thing. And it's weird because I just bought it, so, and then I won one. And it turned out that apparently my sister had literally asked for like that collector's edition thing, and I was like, cool. That can just be her I was like, that can just be her Christmas present.
Dang, that worked out.
So I just put it in my suitcase and took it back for Christmas a couple months later.
That worked out good.
Yeah, I want a video game tournament.
Hell yeah, you're a tournament winning gamer. God dang.
Yeah, I'm a pretty legitimate gamer at the end of the day. Pretty valid gaming skills. Need all the versions of Switch to complete my Switch Infinity Gauntlet. I like getting... Because I also got the Majora's Mask 3DS as well. I love getting special Zelda consoles. They always got very cool designs. But man, I simply cannot justify buying a new Wii U instead of putting that money towards anything else. Just for something that's pure vanity, you know?
Yeah. The closest I have is I got the Zelda 3DS case, the like green one.
Mm-hmm.
I have that thing.
Buying a Wii U in this day and age is hard to justify, yes? I don't know. It's still the only way to play Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is a phenomenal game. It's one of the only things they haven't ported over. That's one of the only ports that I'm still really gunning for. Most of the very good Wii U games have been ported at this point. I think it's basically just Chronicles X. It would be nice to port over Star Fox Zero, because I'm very curious to see how people will feel about it if it doesn't have the two-screen controls. Because it felt like most people's issues came from having a difficult time managing both screens at once. And so, if that literally isn't an option and you're reduced to one screen, if the game is reworked with that in mind, would that fix people's issues with it? I don't know. I don't know the answer. But it would be cool to have it back. The Wii U was a very good console. It sucks that it just didn't get the support it needed, and I don't know. I the two screen thing is genuinely so cool, and I wish that we could still get those games, because there are some games that have like done really cool things with that setup, and I wish that developers were able to keep like exploring that. I might just use the rest of the stream to just prime a bunch of things. Bad marketing? Yeah, the marketing was not great. And then the real issue when it comes to like support, Nintendo themselves were actually churning out a pretty good amount of first-party titles for it. The issue was for a third-party developer to actually have their stuff on it, they would basically have to develop an entirely new version, because it was the like for whatever game they brought over, because like the console being that drastically different from everything else on the market, you couldn't just, you know, bring it over as is from the other consoles. And so you got a lot of games that either very lazily did the port, and you had performance issues, or they added touchscreen functionality that was actually just rough and bad. Or they just didn't port them at all, you know? The Wii U has some games that actually did like phenomenal things with it. Chronicles X, Pikmin 3, like there were games where having all your map and having all your map information and stuff on the second screen, like they actually did like some very cool things with it. Wonderful 101 did phenomenal things with the second screen. That was an incredible game, honestly. I did get the Steam re-release, but I haven't played it yet. I loved Wonderful 101 was fantastic. What are the games? I got a pretty large Wii U collection over here, actually. Just looking at it now. Treasure Tracker did really interesting stuff. Oh, Wind Waker HD. The HD remake of Wind Waker was also like, hey, like that made cool use of the second screen. God, Nintendo Land was also just... Nintendo Land is genuinely still one of the best party games of all time. And, like, a phenomenal pack-in title. Splatoon is, like, the poster child for doing cool stuff with the second screen. They adapted Splatoon to single screen pretty well. But, like, I think it does actually lose a bit of its charm by not having the second screen. What else we got here? God, I forgot that I bought Zombie U. Super Mario Maker made good use of it. Again, they adapted it to single screen fairly well, but yeah. Star Fox Zero, I think, actually did make good use of the. I think Zero was actually a very well made game. But I think it was just too much for some people to process. It introduced like a new... I think this was another thing that actually worked against the Wii U, was it introduced like another complication and kind of leap forward in like game language that you have to learn. Like a lot of... Like my mom, for example, really struggles with more modern games that ask you to use two sticks, basically. The concept of... She grew up with, like, arcade gaming and everything, and played through NES and Super Nintendo, and then kind of stopped for a while. And then trying to play again with modern stuff, the concept of, like, controlling a camera and moving at the same time is, like, a massive change in, like, the gaming, like, lexicon. And I've noticed... and she struggles a lot with it, and I've noticed that, like, a lot of people in similar positions struggle with it. And it's like, oh yeah, like that's a thing that like we got used to growing up with those games. But like it's a whole other skill to learn, and if you're not used to it, it's rough. And I think the Wii U, asking people to look at two screens at once, was a similar jump, like a similar like learning curve, and I think a lot of people bounced off it, and it was just not something they wanted to put the time into like learning really, or like adapting to. Which isn't like a slight necessarily. It's just like a, yeah, people got to decide like what's worth their time. And if they can go back and just play like the Xbox and just use control methods that they're used to and enjoy it right away, why bother playing the system that's like asking them to go through like this tough struggle period of like learning how to play games again? It's also why a lot of genres like die out, or a lot of games that do really cool things don't perform well. Like, there are people who love seeing innovation, and there's a lot of people who really just want something that is comfortable and familiar and isn't asking very much of them. And the latter tends to be the larger audience. Best Buy just put up pre-orders for the Tears of the Kingdom collector's edition. Just got in line. Oh man. Oh, that stuff's probably gonna go immediately. I probably just shouldn't even try for it. I'll be fine. I don't need to. Like, I literally have a Zelda shelf of collector's edition stuff that I've gotten though. Man. I'm like looking up at it now. It's like, yeah, I still have the box from the Wind Waker Wii U. I still have the box of the Breath of the Wild collector's edition. I have the two Zelda 3DS collector's edition boxes. I've got so much stuff.
Do you have a Link's Awakening remake amiibo?
Yes. Let me see. Is it there? No, I don't think I got. I think that came out after I got out of my Amiibo collecting phase.
Because I think I have one at the office if you want it for your shelf.
Oh no. I went through a serious Amiibo collecting phase.
I remember seeing them. They were all displayed.
Yeah, that's how I handled that breakup. Was Amiibo collecting. I was on top of Amiibos for like a solid year and a half. And then I realized I shouldn't be doing this. and I stopped. I still have all the ones from that time period, like the first 3 waves or whatever. I think Amiibo collecting isn't nearly as stressful as it was back then, but like getting certain Amiibos was ridiculous at the time.
Were they like limited quantities or something?
Yeah. And like it wasn't even like, oh, we're releasing a special collector's edition. It would just be standard, like, yeah, for some reason we made like no Captain Falcons. So Captain Falcon is hyper rare, and people are going to be charging $120 for him on eBay.
What?
Yeah, certain Amiibos of just like standard characters were very difficult to find. And then some were all over the place and worth very little. The secondary Amiibo market was a wild place.
Do you still have them all?
Yep.
Nice.
Still have them. I don't have them like on display anymore. Because I did want to date again. Also, I just like decided I had very limited space, and
yeah,
there were better things to do with that space.
Right.
Now, though, I mean, I don't know. I'm about to do another wave of like actually getting furniture for this apartment and like really making it my place. So I might put them back on display again. I don't know. I need to get considerable amount more furniture, and mostly what I want to get is a lot more storage.
Right.
And areas to display things. So I don't know. They might come back out. I currently have them all in an Amiibo drawstring bag.
Oh.
Yeah. Just want to be the nerd with special pins of the next packs I go to. Oh yeah. Something with last Smash too, like you could say certain things that got people way into it early on and just kept it rolling. Really isn't for anything. Even get like $20 for my collection is better than nothing. I'm really curious, actually. Are they still making the Amiibo that were the first couple waves, or did they like phase them out over time? Like, are those becoming collector's items? I have no idea. I've literally not kept up with Amiibo for like, God, like 6 years, something like that. Like it's been a while. So, what is that? What is that like now?
Didn't they try to do like other Amiibo-esque games, like a Disney one and stuff?
Well, so I think Amiibos happened like after Skylanders.
Oh, okay.
I think Skylanders is what kicked that whole thing off. And then they did Disney Infinity.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I can't remember if that was before or after Amiibo. But I think the first one was Skylanders, and then people were like, "Oh, we can double monetize these games." And a couple other projects happened with it. I think they phased them out. Still get P column link for $30. Thank you. I think I do have Piss Link.
What does that mean?
There was a Link amiibo where he had a supportive strut that was like if I remember this correctly, it said he had like a supportive strut to like hold him upright on the base, and it was yellow and it was like coming out of his like crotch area.
What?
Yeah.
Gosh.
If I remember correctly. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it just looks like he's dropping like a solid chunk of pee.
Oh
But it's like
no!
It's like really cold out, so it's immediately frozen.
Yeah, it's like he's been holding that in for a while.
They could have just made it clear. Why did they make it warm? Like,
very strange. Also, just what an odd, like, it takes up so much of the silhouette. Like, it's
a drastically large column.
Yeah.
And like they had to go out of their way to make that yellow. Like
right,
they had to make
right.
a conscious decision.
God.
So I guarantee the factory would have just defaulted to clear.
Hey, it's 17% off on Amazon.
Nice. I think I have that one. I'll have to go dig through the bag. Super Smash Bros. Nintendo. Yeah, because I got them from the... All the other ones are clear. Yeah, like they explicitly... Was it because they're like, oh, like the Triforce? Like, is it because green and yellow are like the Zelda colors? Or like I genuinely don't know. But yeah, no, I think because that was first wave Link, right? That was the Super Smash Brothers push, because that was when I got all the amiibos, was when Smash was coming out. Because that was the first wave of amiibos. They're like, we're gonna do an amiibo for every character in Smash, and it's gonna take us 3 years. It took forever for some of those to come out. But Link was pretty early on, and I was collecting them all. Should I just go get my amiibo bag right now?
Yes, Amiibo stream.
Okay. You know, Link has an amiibo stream.
I don't want anything to do with that stream.
Okay. Almost done basing this hedgehog bard, and then... Awesome. Okay. While that dries, I'll grab my amiibo bag. Ugh. Good God. Okay. You know what? Why don't I just... Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh,
Chris's
God.
Amiibo corner, yeah.
Gonna put these in my mouth. There we go. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Here's the good stuff.
Ooh, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, got the Bokoblin. God, I got a number of Zelda ones in here. There's the Zelda. These are fun. You got Pixel Link. Do we get mouthfeel ratings? Oh. This guy is too big for the mouth, honestly. I'll open my mouth. Okay, so specifically, let's just look for... Alright, so here's... Like, this one... They got the supportive strut. It's clear. You have Pixel Mario, too? Yeah, I've got Pixel Mario. Here he is! Yep, there's Pisslink.
Oh my God.
I got him.
What the heck? What the heck? The boy. Oh man.
Here comes the boy. Oh God, my ring light is not. I need to get better gear. I should just invest in getting better stream gear. All right. But how does Pisslink taste?
Oh
How's the
God.
mouth feel?
Oh my God. Yeah,
Dusty.
I'm sure.
Been in here for a very long time. Got him most of the way in.
That's impressive, honestly.
Yeah. No, there's a good amount of dust on here. That was a bad idea. Like I said, these things have been... Does the resale value go down or up? These things have been in the bag for like 5 years.
That's a good question. That was
4 years.
in the mouth of Chris of Dwarven Forge. I think that ups the price.
I think for probably... There's probably like 5 people on this planet who have enough of a parasocial attachment to this company and or me to find value in that. I'm not gonna lie about it, you know. All right. Ugh. So yeah, I got it's a big bag of Amiibos.
Good God.
Yeah.
Calling me out, huh? I don't even collect Amiibos and I'd buy that. See, you are the value, Chris.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, I worry about that stuff. I worry about being too popular. Nah, just, you know, like, I don't know. I don't want to encourage parasocial stuff as much as possible. I know this industry, tabletop in general, heavily encourages it, and I do not want to encourage it any more than I don't want it to happen at all. I know it's going to happen at least somewhat, but the more we can keep it down, the better.
What? My jawline is disappearing by the day. What are you talking about?
You gotta save it.
I guess so.
The people want it. This is that parasocial stuff I was just talking about, by the way. People out here watching our jawlines. I don't even collect amiibos and I'd buy that. Most of them still go for like $10 a unit for the ones I've been able to find. Is that for like the wave 1 amiibo? Well, because how many of them have been updated? Because they've been continually making new Zelda ones, like as they've made new games. There's so many different variations of like Link amiibos at this point.
Are you selling your chin, Hamster? No, I need that. I need that for many functions.
I thought you were just complaining about it. I guess one thing I could do with an extra day off in the week, now that we are gonna have 3-day weekends, is actually just start going to the gym again.
I hear that.
When you're desperate, give me a call. Oh, he's gone. Look at the ones I could easily find, like Duck Hunt and Inkling Girl. I think I remember the Splatoon ones being very hard to get initially or something. Or it was that, like, you could only get the squid through buying, like, a 3-pack or something. There was something weird with the Inkling ones when they first came out with Splatoon. Man, I still play Splatoon 3 and I played Splatoon 2. The game hasn't really changed drastically. It just keeps getting better as they add new things to it. So in that sense, amazing. That moment when Splatoon came out and it was like, man, what an incredibly innovative new shooter, and it was like a brand new thing. The amount of time that I put into Splatoon 1 was just phenomenal. I still really enjoy it, but I don't make time for it as much anymore.
I have played Splatoon for a total of about 10 minutes, but it was very fun.
Splatoon is so good, man. I play with my sister every now and then. You only get this good with the 3-pack? That's what I thought. You have a lone Inkling Girl for some reason. So, the boy and the girl, I remember they let you save, like, loadouts when you're playing Splatoon or something, and they gave you, like, specific gear. There was some gear that you could only get by having the amiibo. I can't remember if the squid did anything in particular, but I remember the squid being hard to get, and the 3-packs were hard to find. I'm basically just trying to base as many minis as possible, where I'm like, I think I do want to paint these ones, and if I can remove the basing step in the future, I can just be like, oh, this one's already ready to go, I'll just paint them because I want to have them. Mostly trying to base minis that I think would be good for the Redwall game.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we have to try that out on a game day.
Yeah. I need to get the rules in a place where I feel comfortable showing them to people first.
Yeah.
That's what I should do now that we're post-Kickstarter and we have more time. Dedicate some of the time that we have off to getting that rule set going.
I realized a lot of times when I do these cork bases on like the slot miniatures, sometimes I'll just like break stuff off and I'll be like, I'll hide it with a tuft at the end. But this one, oh man, I'm gonna need a lot of tufts on this one in particular. These ones I hid pretty well. Normally I can shape it out. I have some block and stuff that I hit it with, but I forgot about that completely because I based these months ago and I was just like, holy smokes, look at that. There's a cave in there.
Nice.
But I'll just glue up some flowers or grass right there.
Splatoon
There.
Splatoon 2 was on the Switch. It was Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, and then 2, like a couple months after the Switch came out. And then Splatoon 3 came out last year. Which is really kind of wild. I do wonder why they decided to do 2 Splatoons on this console. Although I guess maybe it's just that they don't see themselves retiring the Switch anytime soon. They still have not given any indication that they're making a new console. Rumors keep coming out saying like, "Oh, they're gonna do it," but like, they're still just supporting that Wii U or that Switch. And like, why would you stop making the Switch at this point? It's still selling great. Boom. That guy's based as well. Horde mode is great. Yes. Dude, Salmon Run is fantastic, and it's back in 3. I thought 2 was like Breath of the Wild and straddled the systems. No, it didn't. It came out like July 2017 or something. Because the Switch came out March 2017. Splatoon was like that summer. So there's a Major League Ford and battery tech. There's no reason to update the Switch. Slightly more powerful chip would be nice. Yeah, but they've really gone to stream and immediately want roast beef. I swear it's Pavlovian at this point. Yeah, that makes sense. Apparently, you guys got super into Arby's in the time that I was gone, and like Arby's became like a staple of the conversation here. I wasn't aware of us being that much of an Arby's stream before. Maybe I was wrong. Who knows?
I can't remember the time when it wasn't an RB stream.
It's that propaganda.
I mean, I'm a big fan. Beef and cheddar? I mean, come on.
Welcome to the beef and cheddar. All these little mouse things I need to paint as well. Man. I'm just like remembering like how much I have.
Yeah. I was going through a pile of gray and I was like, huh. I have even more than I thought.
What is this? Oh, it's one of the little dwarfs. Okay. Just like trying to remember what I even have. It's been months since I've been painting. I've had this wizard based for like a year. Paint him up. Just have a generic wizard. I think a light update where like new games can run 4K docked would be nice. Yeah, there is that. I think the thing is they've really sold themselves on the convenience more than the power, and they're doing like stylized graphics. So, I don't know. Nobody will hate you if you say you work for EA. Dead Survivor's 155 gigabytes on PC. Wow.
Oh my god.
Hey, Steve Conley, thank you for the raid.
Hey, thank you.
How's your stream?
Hamster is the meat mountain. I might be in trouble then.
That meat mountain. Oh wow, 7:47 already. It like felt like time was moving very slowly, and then I noticed it, and now time's moving very quickly. I think I might just be temporally challenged. Do, 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 do. How about that, Mando? I've never watched any of the Star Wars shows, mostly because I don't have Disney Plus. Uh, and I've never been a huge Star Wars like watching Star Wars guy. I've been very into the games and some of the books. But I don't know. I enjoyed the movies fine, but I never like got super into them. I've heard good things about them. But I think it's just like I think generally I've just kind of accepted that I'm just not really looking for the things that Star Wars does generally. So like even if it's not even really about it being good or not. It's mostly just kind of like this isn't really the stuff I'm looking for. But I don't know. Maybe I'll watch them at some point. But I just have never been motivated to like go out of my way to watch them. And I don't want to get Disney Plus to watch them either. I guess is the thing. So I just have very little interest in the other stuff on the network. Network? Service? Why would I get any streaming service other than Dropout? Honestly. Dropout, which has phenomenal D&D actual play show, Dimension 20, which uses our terrain every now and then.
Oh.
Depending on the season, depending on who's DMing, depending on if we have terrain that matches what they're planning to do with the season. Steve Codling. A watch pot never boils. That's false. I've stared at a pot for a long time before to prove that wrong. It's the scientific process. This is well worth it for me. Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Simpsons, old Disney/Pixar movies. I forgot Simpsons was on there. I think the main thing is like I have most of the Disney and Pixar stuff that I would be interested in like on physical media. I also just don't watch that much stuff. I think I'm genuinely more interested in like making movies than watching them most of the time. There are things that I do watch that I'm super into, but like I generally watch like a fairly small amount of things, and I just kind of obsessively consume the things that I am into. I don't know. What about you? What were you gonna say before I rudely interrupted?
I was just saying I've seen a lot of Pixar on there.
That's fair.
I had a stretch. I don't know. I have like weird stretches of like being obsessed with really similar things. So it's like I watched one Pixar and then I watched like 10 in a month or something. Not that many, but maybe half that.
I forgot that they have The Simpsons now.
That's kind of strange.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird. I can't wait for Disney to acquire Dwarven Forge.
Oh gosh, what's that gonna look like?
Well...
Forge reports on Disney Plus?
Well, first off, we're all gonna be let go.
Ah, crap.
Is the main thing. I think that's the first thing that'll happen is everybody working there will lose their jobs.
Oh man, bummer.
And then what would they do with access to a miniature terrain company? Probably, are they still doing Disney Infinity? Probably something with that. You know?
Hey, that'd be kind of rad. Hand sculpted, hand painted?
Well, they would drop that because that's too high overhead.
Oh, sure.
They would move it to digital sculpting on a tighter timeline, and it would be produced in HIPs.
Sure.
Um, yeah.
Kingdom
Hips?
Hearts RPG Inbound. There you go.
Is Hips is Hips fairly cheap production?
I think so. I think that's why people
They,
use it.
they do that on sprues, right? Like it's not terribly expensive. You don't need to do yeah. What is it? High impact polystyrene is what it stands for. Yeah.
That sounds right to me.
Probably pretty low overhead, right? Molds are very expensive. Okay, yeah, so they do still do molding. What's the cheaper production? What is that material?
PVC?
Yeah?
That's like the board game plastic.
Okay, board game resin or Cyocast? Okay, yeah, okay, maybe that. It would be that. It would be how do we lower the overhead on producing all this, and they would get rid of the hand sculpted stuff and all that.
Oh, okay. Cryosteel molds.
PVC and hips require steel molds. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like the stuff that really wouldn't need steel molds. The stuff where you can literally just do resin casting the way that we do, or Cyocast. Which yeah, Cyocast is really taking the industry by storm.
It was cool to see.
We're hearing literally everybody move over to it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting though, because I think a lot of people assume that it's going to be just like using any other printer, and it's not. So there's like a learning curve to it. So we've seen some people like really struggle with adjusting to Cyocast. But the people who have adjusted to it well seem to be liking it quite a bit. Kingdom Hearts RPG Inbound. Dude, a Kingdom Hearts tabletop probably wouldn't be good.
I was expecting the opposite as you.
No.
But
how do you balance that?
I suppose that's a fair question.
You probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't worry about balance, and you would just focus on
adding all the familiar characters.
Yeah, you would just focus on the power fantasy of it, actually. I think you would just let it. It would just be more about like how do we make it feel like you're doing Kingdom Hearts, and not how do we make it function good as a well balanced and crafted game.
Right.
I'm really hungry.
Me too.
I've been cooking with cast iron now.
Oh.
Getting used to that is interesting.
How do you wash that?
Paper towel.
Oh.
You just kind of scrub it with a paper towel afterwards. If stuff sticks to it, you scrape it with like a plastic spatula.
No soap.
Not metal. Yeah, you don't. Well, you don't want to because you don't want to get it wet.
Right.
If it gets water on it, like you're risking it rusting and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. And you also don't want to scour it too much. But I got to the point, like, I've got it seasoned enough that, like, things just aren't sticking to it.
Sure.
What isn't the problem? I keep getting told not to put water on it. They keep saying don't put water on it. Dry it and then oil it and wipe it dry.
Whoa,
Okay,
fancy.
Yeah, well, if you dry it thoroughly, sure. But that's the thing, is they're like, yeah, you can wash it with water, but then just put it in the oven for a while to make sure it gets really dried out. But yeah. Then oil it and wipe it dry. So I've been mostly cooking with oil, and like it's got the point where like stuff isn't sticking to it, which is like phenomenal. I'm loving that. And like I've been doing like fish and chicken. It's been coming out like really good.
Ooh.
Put it back in the hot burner and let it evaporate.
What kind of fish you making?
I just been doing tilapia to practice at first because that's like the cheapest one I can get. I want to try salmon steaks.
Ooh.
When I'm through with this tilapia.
Sounds good.
Because yeah, tilapia is like the easiest, cheapest one to get. So I've been doing that, and I've got like a pretty solid kind of seasoning thing going on. Mostly using a lot of paprika. And getting it so it's like crispy on the outside, but still like juicy inside, which is nice. I don't know.
Sounds great. I haven't had fish in ages.
I put off using it for months because I was afraid of like messing up the. I was afraid of messing up the pan and ruining it. But I'm getting comfortable with it, so I'm just doing like really basic stuff now. Basically, just like pan frying chicken or fish, and then vegetables, and doing it all in like one pan is fun. So all the juices like mix around and everything.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's been nice.
Well, let's see. Let's talk about next week. So is next week when Nate is gone, you said?
Yeah, Nate is out all next week, so we're not doing an on the anvil. And we're also just like filming a bunch of stuff. We started filming the Lowtown videos that we want to have ready for Pledge Manager today, and we're filming all through next week and then the week after. And then we should be able to turn those around in time.
Well, what I know is next Thursday I will be in this chair at 6 p.m. Eastern, so
I'm hoping
we can do hobby hang.
I'm hoping I'll be done in time for that as well.
Cool. Yeah, you just primed a bunch of stuff. We got to see it painted.
Yeah. I need a purpose to be prepping these minis for again.
Sure, right.
That'll motivate me more. I need to be like, yeah, it's for this game or something. And if I can get to that, it's much easier for me to paint things regularly.
Yeah, I feel that. I just have so much stuff. I mean, in the chat a lot, they'll be like, what's that for? I'm like, I have not thought about it.
Sous vide plus cast iron make the best steaks. I've never cooked a steak. So I do want to...
I haven't either, now that you mention it.
Maeve did steaks in her cast iron, and it literally took her, like, 5 minutes tops to, like, make each steak, and it was, like, perfect.
Oh my gosh.
It pissed me off so much. Like, I need to learn how to do that. Watch J. Kenji Lopez Alt's video on cast iron. Kenji's the man. I should start watching food tubers, cooking YouTubers. I think food tuber is different. Gotta get that sous vide. Hi, yeah. I don't know what that is. Is that like a bidet for cooking?
I read Souls Vibe, so we're doing a Dark Souls version of cast iron cooking. I don't think that's what it is, though.
Fair. Yeah, I think cooking YouTube is different than food tubing. I think food tubing is stuff like Report of the Week, which is very different.
Warm water bath?
Warm water bath.
I want that for myself.
Yeah, I can barely get that in my apartment. Like, I love this apartment. I'm fully not gonna deny that the building is kind of falling apart around me. You cook things at a lower temp for longer. Wait, would you cook the steak in a... Is it fully submerged in water when you do this? Or do you put water in the pan?
Put it in a bag? Now I'm even more confused.
Yeah, wait, what? So you put the...
Alright, we gotta look this up and I gotta get some food because this food talk is making me hungry. But,
I think I'm gonna do chicken breast and then put it over rice, because I also got a rice maker.
Oh like my god. Ago. Okay, I gotta log off and get something to eat.
I'm trying to get Miles and Ame to also get a rice maker, because they like making rice, and I'm like, hey man, if your rice isn't taking up a spot on the stove, it's just so much easier. Having a rice maker is just nice. Yeah. Okay.
Our rice maker is most often used for Dolly's food. And I'm like, make me a batch of that. All right.
You have a rice maker and you're not eating rice?
Nope, because Dolly eats it. I save it for the Dolly. Okay. So anyway, Dolly and I are going to eat. Thank you for joining us. Again, no on the anvil next week, but you'll see us here on Thursday